continuing to receive an influx of calls in relation to the current rise in clown sightings. The events are increasingly getting more serious, with a series of suburban home break-ins taking place over the past few nights, as well as several incidents of people dressed as clowns and brandishing weapons being found hiding in rooms within the victims' homes. Police Deputy Castro has now publicly stated he believes the missing 23-year-old Sarah Jones could be related to these events. Sarah was last seen 12 days ago leaving work, which her colleagues stated she appeared happy and looking forward to the weekend, showing no signs of a reason to run away. Police are urging everyone to please remain in their homes with all windows and doors locked this Halloween, and to dial 911 immediately if you notice any suspicious activity on or around your property in a neighborhood. This photo was sent in to us by a viewer in the backyard, and
If you don't leave now, I'm calling the police.
But we all here at Channel 5 News would like to say, stay safe and have a happy Halloween.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to yet another episode of Rogan Radio live from the friendly confines of Casa La Rogan.
I
I
like the music.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like I don't want to even like start talking. I just want to have a dance party. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll do that. Are you going to dance? Just coming back from Cancun, Mexico.
Can I dance?
Can you dance? Would you like to? You're so refreshing.
You too.
Todd back from a cruise from the Caribbean.
Yeah, man. I can't hear me, man. Uh-oh. I got nothing.
Now we're just going to listen to it for a second because I'm digging it. This is what we listened to for 7 days straight. Jimmy, give me some of that horn. Air horn, air horn, air horn, air horn. Yeah! Listen, I think if we did that.
You know, I didn't realize till I listened.
I think if we did that for like 2 hours straight, it would actually work.
Well, I listened to one of the radio station on Heart Radio, iHeart Radio. The DJs, speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Hola.
So I think
Hola.
I think a lot of people down there like electronic music.
No, most certainly.
I
I mean, it's mostly rave.
Yeah.
We found that out, and let me tell you about the first thing. I was very hesitant about going down to Mexico because I had never been. And if you remember right, this was our 1 year anniversary, and Michelle, we had this bet of where we were going to go. Were we going to go to the Pacific Northwest and the Grand Canyon, or were we going to go down to the Caribbean and Cancun? Well, we ended up going down to Cancun, and let me tell you, and it was fantastic.
You will always win. Don't act surprised because he will let you win every time.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing but it's as far as that music, all week long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all I heard was
Well, you know, that's what I play at my home too.
Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, it's just like this all the time. You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And we danced all night long and everything else. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
You can even hear it in your room. You go back to your room, take a nap, or go to bed. That's what you'd hear.
Have you guys ever been? Have you ever been to Mexico? Let me know. Have you ever been to Mexico?
Well, listen, Chuck, I know if I ever go to Mexico, one thing I'm not going to do.
Well, you're not going to drink the water.
Yeah.
First off.
That's like you know what? That's almost like a cliche now, but
people will tell you, and you'll hear this like long-standing joke that when you go to Mexico, do not drink the water. Well, I'm here to tell you, they're not joking about that, and there's very good basis in why they tell you.
Because you
don't drink the water.
You will get violent.
And it all started around Tuesday. Yeah. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah. Maybe it was Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. And so Michelle had this, and she's the world traveler. I mean, I've traveled to Lumberport, to Shinston, to Worthington. Sometimes I go out of my realm and go up to, I don't know, Amish country. I go out, and I'm not sure I'll go out of my way to go out of the country a little bit. And so she started having Montezuma's Revenge, a little problem with that. So I'm laughing. I'm going, the world traveler can't even take Mexico. Hola! So then about 2 days later, it hit me, and it hasn't stopped.
I told him. I just said, just keep laughing. Keep laughing.
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was in the coffee. It was from brushing my teeth.
I think yours has lasted longer because you were eating so much fruit.
Let me tell you something.
Told you stay away from the fresh fruit.
The very first day, because we're not going to lie to you. We indulged because when we went down to we did. We went down to Breathless.
Jimmy.
We went down to Breathless, right? You saw. There's still gnats all over the place. You saw about everything that you can think of. We were right next to a nudist colony or a nudist resort, which was kind of interesting to watch them play volleyball. It was so much. In fact, we didn't know if they were actually nude, so we had to walk over to check.
Sure.
So we did.
Sure. Did you like when in Rome? Did you?
No. We didn't do any of that. No.
I walked a lot faster than he did.
Yeah, I couldn't find my glasses. I didn't have my bifocals on. I didn't want to trip on a rock or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we indulged a lot. In the very first day, I drank a lot of beer down there, a lot of Corona Light, a lot of Modelo, and it just didn't. When you're in 97-degree weather, and this is no joke. Bruce has talked about this in Japan a lot, somewhere in the mid-90s range for humidity. Now listen, I have never felt that before. And it is extremely hot. What was crazy for me is if you're in an ocean breeze, you don't realize it. But as soon as you get out, say if you stand behind a building or something and you don't have that breeze, listen, you're
melt, right?
You're dead. You're suffocating. So the next day I said, listen, I can't drink beer because I just can't do this. I can't drink beer in this kind of heat. I don't like drinking beer in the heat anyhow. So I went to grapefruit and vodka because I had to have some kind of nutrients in my system, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, it's all about the health.
So then I asked for one, and he said, "I'm sorry, sir, you drank all the grapefruit."
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I am serious.
That's crazy.
Did they not tell me?
You drank all the grapefruit.
Yeah, but
for the day.
For what they had there. This is no joke. This is what they told me. So then I went to pineapple juice. So then we met a guy from Boston, and he's drinking beer, and he's not feeling very good. I was like, listen, get off the beer. Trust me when I tell you this. Go to something else. Go to pineapple. Go to. He goes, what do you drink? I said, pineapple and vodka. Next thing I know, everybody in the pool, 200 people drinking pineapple and vodka to the point to where I can't drink pineapple and vodka anymore. So now at this point,
because they ran out of pineapple.
Because they ran out. So now at this point, I'm going to orange juice and vodka. And it was And then
do you have any pomegranate?
But we
I would
met
like some pomegranate.
But what was really nice is about it is that
that you
Michelle
were
found
glad
Jesus.
To see you leave. Oh,
Michelle met Jesus down there.
The
I
Lord.
did meet Jesus.
No, you met Jesus.
Jesus.
You just called him Jesus. For
I
fun.
called him Jesus.
Did he walk
Yeah.
on the pool? Did he walk across the pool?
He answered to me.
He did.
Yeah.
Listen, down there, Jesus loves you is a whole different meaning.
Yeah.
But we met some the workers down there.
What do you mean? So his name wasn't Jesus?
It was just spelled that way.
Oh, well, I called him Jesus all week.
The J's silent.
I said, come to me, Jesus. I need a drink.
Hey, this crazy lady called me Jesus.
But you hear a lot of things, and I will be the first to tell you. I've heard a lot of bad things about Mexico, and it's
like the cartel and the beheadings and the drownings
and all of that stuff. But you get that around here too. I mean, really, you get that in
You're in
Clarksburg.
a divided resort.
You're like in a
Well,
game.
yeah, no, absolutely.
They're
Well, that's-
protected anyway.
Well, no, absolutely, and it's absolutely the truth though. Is that we were and it's like going anywhere else. You could go to the inner city of Pittsburgh and see the same thing that you hear about on the news there, or you can go down to Station Square and stay at the Sheraton and experience the same thing that we had, minus the hard, the people that work. And listen, they were working hard. They were cleaning seaweed all the time. They were painting something. You give them $1. Did you know in Mexico that the minimum wage is $5?
Okay.
Wow.
A day.
Oh, wow.
And they work 12-hour days.
Oh, that's like $40.
Nice win.
No, not
What
five.
was-
Not
you have
$5.
something in your eye?
Not $5 an hour. $5 a day.
$5 a day for 12 hours. That's like $60.
I think I missed a joke there.
Yeah, Todd's doing it. So anyway,
It's not working.
yeah. So anyhow, you think about this. We go down there, and then you give them $1 for a tip. That's basically 4 hours of them working. You know what I mean? Because they're basically making $5 American a day for 12 hours of work, 6 days a week.
That's bananas.
It is.
Would you tip them?
Oh, we
Sometimes.
Yes,
Chuck-
y'all,
sometimes
right?
$1,
You-
sometimes a
yeah.
couple dollars.
Yeah.
It depends. Sometimes $5. If it was somebody, because I have a rule of thumb also, when I'm in my hotel room, and I don't know if you guys do this or not, when I'm in the hotel room and we leave, toothbrush. The most important thing is go in that safe: toothbrushes and toothpaste. Because if they're mad at you, that cleaning staff, if you go in there and you
Clean
tear
the
that,
toilet with their
they're absolutely most certainly will. Those,
I have never done that.
you've
Listen,
never.
when we went on that cruise, the first thing I do was find a little guy. His name was Henry.
Yeah.
Or Henry.
Oh, Henry.
You found
First thing I
Was
do-
the
Right
H silent?
Yeah,
Henry.
it was
Henry.
I called him Jesus.
Henry.
I said, "Come here, Jesus." And the first thing we did was give that dude. I gave him a $20 right off the spot. I said, "Hey, man, take care of me." He did the whole time. I took a bunch of 20s because I tipped everybody with 20s.
Dang, Trump.
Oh, you don't do that in Mexico. You do one, like 5 is a big deal.
You were tipping people with 20s. I know that's a lie.
My wife will tell you.
That you were tipping. How many people
Listen,
did you tip? Two?
No, there was one of our waiters that was there from 2 years ago. I gave him a $20 just because I saw him.
Dang!
Oh,
listen
wow.
to this guy.
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
You know what? Trump's good for you. Boy.
No.
$20 tips. You
Yeah.
don't even.
Don't forget the vote in November.
Yeah, they're
Is that me? You're gonna pay me $20 to
Not
come,
you.
come to work every day?
No, Bruce.
No, you see me all the time.
all the time.
But here's what's funny.
Stay out of strip clubs.
Todd's
all I'm saying.
like, if you're passing out 20s, man,
Passing
good
out, I was on
heavens.
that ship and I was passing out $20 bills.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm paying you way too much money for this gig, dude.
Yes, you are, Chuck.
Holy
Whenever
cow.
Megan and I went to Punta Cana, they told us not to tip with cash, tip with Hershey bars.
Really?
Yeah, so we did, and they went bananas. I mean, they really
They make
liked
chocolate splits out
How'd
of
you
them?
get it there
Banana
without
splits?
it melting?
it. Yeah, well, it was packed in
Well,
luggage.
when I went to New York
Kinda
City a
what's
year
going on with
ago,
Chuck.
when I went to New York City a year ago, I had to put the bills to get the train ticket. Then change came with $1 coins.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know what? I said. Then when I stayed at the motel, I said, here you go.
Just
Gave it all those housekeeping people. Yeah.
That's funny.
Just $1, but
Well,
in New York City.
yeah.
But they were surprised. Hey, I got tip. I was like, you guys don't get the tip? They say, no, normally.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Now
That's
listen,
what they said.
Because I want him to take care of me.
Ryan Cottrell, we're going to give some shout-outs. Ryan Cottrell said, hey, listen, I've never been to Mexico, but I went to El Rincon and Bridgeport once. Does that count?
Look, see
Ole!
what my wife put on there? What did my wife put on there?
It's the
Vicky,
truth.
jeez Louise, money
Now,
bags.
but you know what?
Give me some shout-outs. Give me some shout-outs real quick. We're going to talk about
Donnie
the cruise.
Everett. We got Donnie Everett
What's
on
up,
here.
Donnie from
Ronnie
DC?
Cottrell. Ryan Cottrell.
What's up, Ryan? Hello,
Here.
Vicky.
Hey,
So
Ryan.
you on there. Becky, I know, is on there
Becky
also.
Wade's on there. She's got some traffic issues, but we'll get with
Jason Talkington, hello.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the turkey trot here after a bit. I just wanted to break this a little bit just because I wanted to hear this music. You guys,
Yeah,
Where is
Deb
that
Kelly.
back up on 79?
Deb Kelly's
Put it in
on
the
there.
comments.
Brian Boyles.
It's in Southbound somewhere.
Melinda.
Hello, Melinda.
Kay Martin. Say hi to Kay Martin real
hello,
quick.
Kay.
That's right.
Man, this is making me Mexico sick. I want to go back.
It's one of those.
Oh, I want to go back.
Kim Matheny's on here, Chuggy.
Hello, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Give me some emoji while we're doing
Pam
this.
Faber.
Yeah. Melinda just had a birthday, by the way.
Spencer Levi Cornell. Hello.
Joan Lucha.
Joan Luchak. Derek McIntyre's on here.
Listen, you know what we need to do?
Screw that guy.
You know what we need to do sometime? We
Ryan
need to go
Blaine.
down. We need to go down to the Shinston Pool at some point.
Okay.
Go down to the Shinston Pool when they open up and have a dance party like this. And don't take requests. You know, yeah, you'll do have the pool down there, and they'll say, okay, I want to hear some Garth Brooks. I'll say tough. I want to hear Alan Jackson. I'll be like, you know what? Don't care what you want to hear. Can we play some?
It's a rave party.
Can we
Rave party.
Can we
Yeah.
see play some P Lollipop or one of them guys? Nah, listen,
we're just
we're
a
doing
rave
it.
party.
We're playing this, and we're going crazy. We're going Mexican style. I'd like to have some air horn right now, if you would, please. Plus some air horn. Listen, I'm all about this. Yeah. Dance, baby. Little break in the action. We're back. Hello, Joanne. Hola.
Hola.
What's up, Wayne? Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, we're going to have a complete show one day, and it's going to be nothing but that stuff. Hello,
Party, that ain't me. Party foul on
Boom.
Jimmy. I'm blaming Jimmy.
That was Derek McIntyre.
No,
Vote for
not
Derek
me.
McIntyre.
was not me.
Man,
the
I'll
way
tell you
Todd's
what.
looking.
Vote
You
for
know what?
Derek
You know what? I
McIntyre.
wonder if on Amazon. I know we can. We're having this debate right now about man buns, and I'm thinking about Derek is the one that brought it up. He goes, I'm thinking about getting a man bun. I was like, well, you know what? But they,
Don't
but
look at man's
they have clip-on man bun things, and the DJs down in Mexico, they all wore these man buns. So I'm thinking about doing this thing, and then we could put some, get on Amazon too, and put in some neon lights, some disco lights in here, and every occasion instead of doing some kind of Von Haggerty thing, we can do like a Mexican rave party instead, and just all dance.
Sounds like
Well,
a great idea.
yeah.
I like the selection.
Lori
of music.
Harville, Louisiana in the house.
Ooh, Louisiana.
Megan says traffic is backed up from the wait station to
Now the wait station, is that where they
I
have the
think
she
treadmills
must
and
say
stuff?
Goshen.
Way station.
Goshen Road.
Goshen Road, yeah.
Oh.
So get off your phone, Megan, and drive.
Well, she
wait
can't if she's
station
stopping.
in
The wait station.
Goshen Road.
Goshen. I think it
That's
says
what-
Aham Road, but I think
it
she
just
means.
says the wait station to go road.
Love you, Megs. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
That is awesome. But what was I going to? How was your cruise? Tell me where you guys
It was
even
nice.
went. Where'd
we
you all
went
go?
to, Vicky can tell you. I can't remember.
Well, now he was too busy tipping it.
Were you even there? Were you
I spent so much money.
Oh,
we went to
you
Half
roofie?
Moon Cay. We went to
Nice.
Freeport, and we went to.
Nice.
There's a third one. I swear to God.
Turks.
Yeah, Grand Turk. Yeah. that's
I've
what
flushed a lot of Turks the last couple of days. Have you ever been to Flushing Turks?
it was it really like? Was it a Turk or is it just like turkey water?
Oh man, listen. When you guys go, so did you have a good time? I mean,
No, we had a great time.
and the cruise was really nice. You
Got
went a
s-
Carnival cruise?
Went a Carnival cruise. We had a great time. We rented a private cabana to Grand Turk. We had a dolphin encounter. The dolphins came right
Yeah.
up. We rubbed their little bellies and they spit water at us, and it was just a great time. Me and my
Carnival's-
brother. and his wife.
Carnival's the
Did you
one
pay
that was
dolphin?
having-
Meanwhile, back in
$20
West
too?
Virginia,
Meanwhile, back
it's 40
at the
degrees.
What was that, Bruce?
Did you pay $20 to the dolphin too?
No, but I did give $20 to the dolphin trainer.
And the guy that was holding tickets, and the guy that was selling
My
Slurpees.
wife-
Sheesh, I think we're going to stick to
I
Mexico,
gave
babe.
$20 to the boat captain who took us out to see the dolphins.
Gee whiz.
Daggone.
Listen, what I'm surprised is you whipping around that much money. You had a suitcase full of cash, obviously.
Yeah, we did.
I'm surprised you didn't get date raped or something.
No date rape.
Hate rape.
Dang.
I was giving
Well, he can't remember because he has
I
to
was
ask
giving
Vicky everything.
everybody $20 bills.
Hey, did you get a pretty good tan?
Yeah. No.
Did you didn't?
No, I got a little burnt.
Show us your tan.
Did you?
Because I didn't have a tan for
You want
it.
to have a belly off?
No, I don't.
Uh-oh.
Let's see,
you
let's
wanna
see
do
the
a
belly.
Mexican-
Two guys who went on vacation.
Listen,
No.
Todd went to the Caribbean. Hold on,
Okay,
hold on,
no, no, no,
everybody.
not yet.
Hold on. Todd went
Not
to the
yet.
Caribbean. We went to Mexico. You want to do a rave party, and you guys want to? Who wants this?
I want to see who got the best tan.
I
You
don't.
want to see?
We'll
Let's
just
go.
say-
Yeah,
Okay,
Ray
here we
got
go.
the best belly tan.
Okay, hold on.
Belly
Yeah.
tan competitions.
Okay, hold on.
Here we go. Uh-oh. Woo, go,
Mexico
babe.
against the
Go, babe.
Eastern Western
Okay, here we
You
go.
got this, Mexico. You got this.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, my
Oh.
Sound of J.D. Lace.
God.
Nice, nice.
Got a lot of stuff. Look at that.
Look at that.
I remember when that was a six-pack, Chuck.
Chuck hasn't had that much sun since he was carrying mail.
He never had that much sun carrying bells. Give me.
Yeah.
He had farmer's tan.
So you think the Mexican sun beat the Caribbean sun?
Damn straight.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen. When all you're doing is drinking all day and laying on lounge chairs
Yeah.
talking to people from Canada, listen, you have all the time in the world to soak up as much sun as you
we
want.
were on that. We were on the cruise from a couple from Morgantown.
No kidding.
Really?
Now
Isn't
listen,
it a
when
small world.
when
Isn't
you
it? It really is.
now when you guys, when all of you, I mean, you've been down to
Punta Cana.
Okay, but don't talk dirty to Michelle like that. But where was it?
Punta Cana.
Is that
That's
a
a
Dominican.
Mexican?
That's in
It's
Dominican.
Mexican.
Okay.
Puna, what?
Okay, and then I know Michelle's a world traveler. Brucey, you at times go around a place. You've been to Australia and Japan, obviously,
Yeah.
and up to New York and things.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, you've been on Ocean City. Just joking with you. When you guys go and you start talking to people, now I want to know this in the audience too. Do you when you introduce yourself, do you let them know who you really are? Like when you met those people from Morgantown.
Oh yeah,
You
How-
say your real name.
How did
We don't say names. We don't say, "Hey, my name's Todd from Lumberport."
Like even
Say,
if
"Hey,
we
where
talk
you
to him
from?"
for hours.
No,
it never comes up?
nope. I don't know anybody's name.
Hmm.
We just talk.
But we
in
got a lot. We
conversation.
met a lot of friends that we talked to like over a length of time. But just to meet people,
Yeah, we never.
Misophonia.
We would meet people their whole trip, but we never hung out with anybody. Not long enough to know their names. We knew where
Okay.
they were from.
I mean, we you meet a lot of people. Well, one thing that I have learned over the course of my many storied careers of a world traveler is I never, ever tell anybody my real name. Ever.
we did to a few.
To a few.
But yeah.
But
Even though
this
there's
time,
100,000 people listening to this.
yeah,
They don't know his
so
real
listen,
name.
So this time,
I don't
Never.
I don't have a problem with that
That's that guy that was in the
Listen.
pool.
listen, this time my name was Jethro from Toronto. Okay, so when I would meet somebody, the first people we met, they were from New Jersey. And I said, "Hello, my name is Jethro from Toronto." And they were like, "Oh, hi, Jethro. That's sort of weird." I said, "No, it's Jethro from Toronto. Big deal."
Big deal. Yeah.
So the next day, we're at a bar, at a
Well,
water
wait,
bar near the pool.
Then you had to. Then they want to know your wife's name.
Oh yeah. So then I said, "This is my wife," and then Michelle introduced her name as.
Juanita from Indonesia.
So I'm Jethro from Toronto,
And I'm Juanita from
and-
Indonesia.
and Michelle was Juanita from Indonesia.
Yeah.
So the next day, we're just so happens, out of mere coincidence, we're down at one of the water pools, one of the water bars, the pools that had the bar in there.
Swim up bar, yeah.
Those are
So the people from New Jersey were across the bar, and they said, "Hey, Jethro from Toronto." And I was like, "Hey, I love maple syrup and the Blue Jays and all that stuff." I said,
That's very good. That's
I
true
swear to
story.
God. And I was more like this, "God, love maple, go hockey, go hockey."
I'm sure
It was something that was very close to that. So the people,
Yeah.
so the guy next to us, there's a little group next to us. He goes, "Oh, you're from Toronto."
Oh, here it comes.
And I was like,
I'm from Toronto too,
Well,
mate.
and I was like this. I was like, "Well, hell yes, I'm from Toronto. My name is Jethro from Toronto, actually." And he goes, "Well, strangely enough, I am too." And I was like, "Really?" And he really was, because you could tell by the accent. Just so happens. So then I talked to one of the other members, and he comes up and he goes, "Oh, you're from Toronto." I was like, "Yep, Jethro from Toronto. That's who I am." And he goes, "Well, what's the the main drive that goes right through Toronto. What's the main road that goes through there?
What's it called?
I said, that's easy. I said, that's Main Street.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not from Toronto. I was like, you're right. I'm not from Toronto, and you're not going to know my name or where I'm from. As far as you're concerned, I'm Jethro from Toronto.
Well, you could have been from like Toronto, Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
from
what I
Hollywood,
meant.
California? No.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, no, I tell people. I'm
going to get you a T-shirt.
I've
that
always
says
told people.
Jethro from Toronto.
I don't care.
That's because you want to win house.
Well, people were calling.
That's probably it. Yeah.
People would yell Juanita, and I would forget.
Well,
They're like,
she
Juanita,
must-
Juanita. And I'm like, who are you
Yeah.
yelling for? Oh!
Where's Juanita?
Well, now we did have one. The only problem that I do have, and this is basically an entire. We're talking about nothing but Mexico. We're going to get into a top 10 list in there in a minute. But I thought this was funny because when we first got down there, I'm wearing my Derek McIntyre for House shirt.
Yeah, I wore mine.
Absolutely.
I wore mine down there, too.
Absolutely.
I did.
And we walk in, and one of the worst things, if you ever go on a Mexican all-inclusive down, the worst thing is they try to sell you. You have to go through this process where they want to sell you timeshares.
Oh, yeah.
They want to tell you sex bots. There's all kinds of things they want to sell you. You just have to keep on walking. You just have to keep on walking.
He's over-exaggerating.
So anyway, we get to a point to where Michelle, because she gets into, listen, how we're not in a Mexican jail right now. Because she gets frisked every time she goes through TSA or every kind of airport check. And
I
that's
get
on Scott Street.
random checked
And
every single
And listen, she threw a fit on a Mexican authority who was going through the luggage. She was almost pulling a DMAC.
Oh,
Okay?
oh yeah.
But I'll get to,
whenever I went to Florida.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, and I'll tell you about that here in a second. But we're in this thing, and we're listening to the sales speech. And Michelle starts giving them, just say, listen, we don't have time for this. We've been on the plane since 3 o'clock in the morning, Salvador. I think she called him El Salvador.
Oh, man.
She goes, hey, El Salvador, we don't have time for this. We've been on the plane since 3 o'clock. I just want to go party. And he looked at me, and I said, yeah, buddy. He said, she's tough. Plus, you know what? I'm voting for Derek McIntyre, so get out of here. We're going to kick your ass.
Yeah!
We're going to come down here. We're going to take this over, America.
Derek McIntyre, House Delegates 48.
Yeah, that's right.
America.
That's it.
No, but one last thing, and then we'll move on to the top 10 list. With top 10 list, we go and when you go into Mexico, there's like a screening process, and there is a button you have to hit like a game show.
Yeah.
Okay, if you hit the button in the screen, you just walk on through. Listen, you can have guns in your backpack. It don't matter as long as you hit it and it's green. But if you hit it and it's red, look out. Because they're gonna turn into dentists and give you cavity searches. They're gonna go through all your luggage. They're gonna even try your clothes on. It's that intense.
Wow. And Michelle's shaking her head. Yeah.
So go ahead. Why don't you continue the story?
Well, because we were talking about it on the airplane before we landed in Mexico, and everybody was saying, I just want to get the green light. I just want to get the green light. And I've had him pumped up. I'm like, babe, we're getting the green light. We are rolling right through customs. We're going in. We're going to start our party.
Hell yeah.
We were probably 50 people back. Boop, green, boop, green, boop, green. Everybody. I'm like, whew, we are going. This is going fast. I'm rolling my luggage.
Red.
Oh.
Red. Now, this is after I'd
You're
already
the
been
next
stopped
contestant.
twice in the airports prior that day to be, well, it was partially my fault because I wore a bodysuit under a pair of dress pants that had metal snaps in the crotch. You know, the bodysuit you wear.
Like that was on accident.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't even think about it until I got in the x-ray machines, and they're like, ma'am, there's something showing up in your groin area.
She
I'm
lit up like a Christmas tree.
I'm like, it's only my earrings. I keep them down there.
So then I had to go through the whole speech
My
of
vagina's wearing a necklace.
the female TSA officers. Yeah. The female TSA officer, I'm going to use the back of my hands. I'm going to rub you this way, that way. Do you want a private room? Is it okay to do it out here in public? There's 10,000 people. I'm like, you know what? Do it.
And at this point,
Just
in the
do
action, I was like Todd, except I had ones, and I was ready to start passing them out like it was some kind of dance at a club or something. I was like, yeah.
Let it rain, baby.
I think everybody stopped.
I was like, TSA, TNA, TNA, TNA.
TNA.
So it's every single time I get stopped.
All right, get to the
Every
point of the
single
luggage.
time.
Hit the
Wait,
button,
who
'cause
went
this is
first?
great.
Did Chuck go through the line first?
Me.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes
Now,
we did.
sometimes we went the first, but every time he would fly through, whoop,
So he
they'd
got
stop
green
me.
every time.
Every time. Every
I'm a
time.
little
You know what it
disappointed.
is? Celebrity status.
Absolutely, they know who I
Rogan
am.
Radio. You know.
I even said,
Radio's big.
I even said that one guy. I said, "You know who I am?" He went, "No." I said, "That's right. I'm Jethro from Toronto." But anyway,
So
get to the
anyways,
point of
I got the
luggage.
red light, and I was so frustrated at this point because, first of all, my bag weighed 60 pounds. Chuck's weighed 20. And we had to have, if your name was on your luggage going over the border, you had to have your name with your
gotta be under
luggage. You're
50,
responsible for what's inside of there. So I'm taking this bag, and they're like, "Ma'am, we're going to need you to step up." I'm like, "Oh, I know. Trust me. I've been there before." So I go over, and they had me pick it up and lay it on one table. And it's 60 pounds. Pick it up, put it on the other table. Then they decide they want me to move to another officer. Take the luggage down, roll it, pick it up. I'm mad at this point.
She's pissed.
Oh, I am so mad. I picked that. Chuck's like, "Chuck," they let him follow me. And they're like, he said, "Babe, let me pick." I'm like, "I got it." And I picked it up and I slammed it down on that table and it echoed.
Oh.
Everything stops.
Echoed.
Kind of sounded like a gunshot.
No,
bro.
listen,
Yeah, it
we're-
just echoed.
We're on the border trying to get into Mexico. I don't know how to speak Mexican or Spanish or whatever it is. I
Just
have
go
no
andale,
clue.
andale.
I don't know.
Andale, andale, andale.
Only thing that I know is that you don't mouth them because you don't have any law. There's nothing protecting you down there.
Right.
There's nothing protecting you. And all of a sudden, redhead Michelle Zilla
Well,
at this
don't
point,
make me pick up that 60-pound
Slams his-
suitcase 50 times.
and starts screaming.
I didn't scream.
You said it loud enough to where the entire place heard you.
Well,
No habla y Mexican.
And it's just like, "I paid good money for the... And I was born not a criminal. You're the criminal. I didn't do nothing wrong." So the guy opens the luggage up. He opens it up and he goes, he's like this, You'll find. Go ahead." Take about 2 seconds. He doesn't even look. Now, if I was him, at least I would have opened it up a little bit and saw some things.
because
Like,
you
"Oh,
could
these are
see
nice."
them, like, you consider, like, the people that got stopped before me, they literally had every article of their tore apart, like their
wow.
suitcase tore apart, and I'm just thinking, oh, my
Were
gosh.
there, did you see dogs? Were there dogs in the airport?
Not in Mexico, but in the United States, yes.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, we saw 'em when we came back, too.
Lots.
That's interesting how they actually check you because every foreign country I visited, whatever the international flight, luggage goes first, but you do not go through any kind of a security. Once your TSA is, first flight, you catches it.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just, which is immigration custom. Then whatever you bring, you're supposed to declare anything because the luggage you shouldn't be carrying with you anyway. You're
Right.
supposed to meet at the luggage claim. Which
Well,
is
this was,
downstairs.
yeah.
Well, that's how it worked
But
with
this
us.
was
Yeah.
going through customs. This was like
Yeah,
crossing.
but you shouldn't have a luggage.
Well, we
with
had like
you.
a carry-on.
okay.
See, that's where
Okay,
that's
gotcha.
where that happened.
Yeah.
And listen, we only had 10 kilos of cocaine, about 15 pounds of 15 cartons of cigarettes.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all we
better down
had.
here,
I
right?
mean, big deal. They bring more over every day.
We did not.
No, we didn't have anything like
we didn't
that.
have anything.
But it was a great time. I tell you what, whoever's afraid to go down to Mexico, don't be, because listen, just follow the rules, and I mean, it could be a hassle a little bit.
How long did it take you to get your passport?
About what, 10 days?
We did expedited.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
did
I
expedited.
was
Usually 2 weeks.
Yeah, I did the expedite because I waited until the last minute.
Yeah.
Of
honestly.
I would
course.
too, Chuck. I would too.
I need to
course.
renew actually, mine doesn't need, Megan's need renewed. So
Yeah,
I need to
it's
do that.
always better just to have a renewed.
Well, I had to
just
change my
in
name
case.
on mine, so I had to go through the whole process again.
But we met a lot of good people, and it's amazing. We had some people from Wisconsin, some Illinois, New Jersey, Canada, up in Toronto. We met a lot of good people. Jesus, Salvador.
As far as you know, that's where they're
Alberto.
from.
Well, that's
They
true
could
too.
be from
Marlena.
Bridgetown, for all we know.
They're probably from Bridgeport playing the same game that I am.
Yeah.
Probably.
Tell you, everywhere I go, I usually see people from where I live, and so it's weird. Like when I lived in Alabama, my neighborhood, my next door neighbor was from Morgantown.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well,
Well, then when I
I
went to St. Thomas last year for the Hurricanes, the guy we hooked up with was from Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
I
funny.
wore by West Virginia had a lot on there, and like, hey, West Virginia, and they'll put their hand up, high five, and obviously they're from West Virginia too.
Well, last Saturday we were watching the Mountaineers play in Iowa State, and we were up in Pittsburgh watching it, and it was hard to find a game because the Penguins were playing, so
Right.
it was all hockey. Well, we were going to go in. We're all dressed in our Mountaineer gear until about the third quarter. Then we're just like, getting magic markers, writing
yourself
pit
up.
on them or something. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Must have
Uh-oh,
Must have
Michelle's
Montezuma's
got to
revenge.
do that. She's got to do that.
Montezuma's revenge attacks again.
she's
He's
dropping
not there.
a Deuce, Mexico.
Do that.
But anyway, so it was a good time, and
cool.
you guys would go on a cruise again. You planning on doing that next year?
I've never been on a cruise. I'd like to
Oh,
go.
Yeah, I've never been one either.
This is our second one. We're not next year. The year after, she's already planning one.
Do you always go on Carnival? Because they were
Well,
the ones that were having dysentery problems. there
we
for
did
a
not
long
get
time, remember
dysentery.
that?
Chuck has it right now.
Yeah.
But no, we never had any problems.
Gracias.
There's another one. There's one she wants to go on to next year. Not this coming year. The one after that goes. You fly into Miami, then you go down and hit like those southern islands down there, Cozumel and all them places like that.
Cozumel's a little bit south of us where we were. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 of them down there. So we'll do that one next.
Yeah, it's pretty good. D-Mac, you ever been on a cruise?
Nope.
Would you
Listen, the food, man.
Oh yeah,
I was sick. I ate so much that I would eat when I wasn't even hungry. I was pushing food down on top of food that hadn't already went down all the way.
Yeah.
I had heartburn every night. Every night I had heartburn. But
Well,
it was
that-
glorious.
And see, that's what we know, because one thing about the cruise thing, which and we have found out one thing about the cruise is when you get the alcohol ticket or whatever, when you did the beverage ticket or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think you're limited to about what we've researched, about 15 drinks a day, and that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Unless you're Michelle and I, and unless you're on vacation.
Yeah.
And because there are some, there are times where there might be 3, but there's other times we start because we were up at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock down there is like noon. Swear to God, it's not. There is no like 9 o'clock in the morning. It's noon and noon.
5 o'clock
You know,
somewhere.
then all of a sudden it's like 9 o'clock, and then all of a sudden the clubs are open. So then we thought we were dancing all night. So we never stopped. So when you're talking about getting 4 hours of sleep, it's 20 hours throughout the day. That's not really a lot.
That's true.
You know what I mean? But, I don't know. I would like to go on a cruise, but at the same time, it is kind of nice to where when you get off and you're planted, because this resort was so big, Breathless once again, down in Sutamaya.
Riviera Maya.
Yeah. It was so big because there's actually 3 hotels in one, and it had like 9 restaurants and 18 bars or something
3
crazy.
pools.
Really?
3 pools.
Water sports.
You know, we
Yeah,
went
that's
out
cool.
sailing.
Yeah.
That was part of the package. You could board. It was like
Kayak,
$2,800.
snorkel.
And you don't get motion sickness. My wife got that a couple nights, but she was all right.
But I mean, that was like, which I would like to experience the cruise, because I think it would be a lot of the same feel. At the same time, being planted in a resort is sort of a cool thing also, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like we were at different.
Yeah.
It was like we were different the
We're
entire
gonna
time
do the
we were
cruise
there.
next.
Well, you know what? If you're not sure, just try to do like a 2 or like a 3 or 4 day cruise.
See,
hey, I like this.
If I was going to do it, I'd have to do one of the longer ones, because that 2 or 3 days, I think I'd get more mad at myself. I'd rather hate it for a long time or really enjoy it for a long time.
Yeah. Well, we really like it. We have a good time.
When we went to Punta Cana, though,
Zoo night.
that it was all inclusive, and we were there for 5 days, and that was pretty awesome, because it was a huge resort, and we really liked that a lot. But I don't know. We've kicked the cruise idea around, but it's never really gotten anywhere.
I think that's our next one.
Which one's that?
Cruise.
Cruise. Yeah. Well, we're out to Los Cabos.
Yeah.
So we were talking about doing that
Is that
too.
Mexico also?
That's on the
Now
the
Jimmy wanted
Pacific
to
side, the West
You
Coast.
wanted to go on the Tiger River cruise, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love
Well,
to
see,
do that with you.
Jimmy grew up on a cruise ship. I mean, it was the Gateway Clipper, and he was the guy that he would.
Oh yeah.
The Gateway
That's right.
Clipper, and
Yeah.
it would go all around. And listen, he was actually the cabin boy of that thing.
Cabin boy.
Good chip lollipop was my favorite.
Right,
Yeah.
Captain Steubing. He was actually a good dude, and I can't remember the bartender's name.
Bartender Mike.
Bartender Mike. All right, we have a top 10 list for us, and tonight it's going to concern top 10 Halloween jokes. If you're still with us and you're tired of hearing about vacation plans, if you do have any vacation plans, by the way, we went through Apple Vacations. Who'd you guys go through?
We didn't. Vicky booked everything.
Oh, just through the actual
Through
cruise
Carnival.
ship.
Yeah, through Carnival. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right, tonight's top 10 list concerns best Halloween jokes. D-Mac at number 10.
Number 10. How do you say goodbye to a vampire?
How's that?
So long, sucker.
Bruce, number 9.
Why does a witch ride a broom?
Why does a witch ride a broom,
Yeah.
Bruce?
Vacuum cleaner gets stuck at the end of the cord.
Nice. Number 8, Michelle.
All right.
How can you tell when a vampire has been in a bakery?
How?
All the jelly has been sucked out of the jelly donut.
Yeah.
And number 7. Why didn't the skeleton cross the road?
Why didn't it, Jim?
Yeah, why wouldn't a skeleton cross the road?
Because he had no guts.
Number 6. Number 6. Why do ghosts like to ride elevators, Chuck?
Why do ghosts like to ride elevators,
Because
Todd?
it raises their spirits.
Why do demons and ghouls hang out together?
Why is that? I don't.
Why do demans and ghouls hang out
I don't know,
together?
Chuck. Why?
Because demons are a ghoul's best friend. Quack, quack.
Derek McIntyre, number 4.
I lost it. I lost mine.
Okay.
Son of a biscuit.
Number
it's right-
4.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Brucey?
Number 4.
Right in the mic, Bruce.
Why did the dyslexic vampire starve to death?
Why is that?
He couldn't find any. What is that?
That's blood backwards.
But it's backwards.
I like that. Bloob.
Hey, I get number 3.
Okay,
Number 3, Michelle.
All right, because I just want to do number 3.
Okay.
Why can't boy ghosts make babies?
Why can't they make babies? Why can't boy ghosts make babies?
I'll tell you why
Tell me
boy
why.
ghosts
Tell
can't
us.
make babies. I'm about ready to tell you. You ready?
Tell me
Ready?
Okay, here's why boy ghosts can't make babies.
Why?
Because they have Halloweenies. Halloweenie.
Number 2.
Jimmy.
Why don't mummies take vacations?
Why don't
I don't know.
mummies
I have
take
no
vacations?
idea.
They're afraid to relax and unwind.
Because their mummies wrapped in the
Mummies
unwind.
Chuck, you're a better reader than me. Do you want to do number 1?
No, go ahead, man. That's all you. It's just not
Okay.
about me.
Get Todd.
I
Number
won,
1.
I won the belly tan contest.
Yeah, you really did. I didn't see the back of you. Well, I'll look at that later. Number 1, the top 10 best Halloween jokes. How do you know when you're too old to trick or treat?
How would you know? I mean, I've often debated this myself.
Okay.
How would you know if you're too old to trick or treat?
You get winded from knocking on the door.
Okay.
You're the only Power Ranger in the neighborhood with a walker.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
When the door opens, you yell, "Trick!" and can't remember the rest. And the last one is, by the end of the night, you have a bag full of restraining orders. Ba-dum-bum.
Good job.
Good job.
Those are like jokes your 6-year-old would tell you all the time.
Yeah. That was the top 10 best Halloween jokes brought to you by RoganRadio. I really like that.
I'm telling you,
Vaughn Haggerty.
check out Vaughn Haggerty this weekend in Cancun, Mexico. He's going bare ass and chapstick all over the beach in Cancun, Mexico.
Vaughn Haggerty.
You can get your tickets now to fly on United Airways from Pittsburgh down to Fort Lauderdale over to Cancun. Get your tickets now at 681-222-7646 and check out Vaughn Haggerty as his raves his way all the way to Tequila Factory. Numero uno, it's Vaughn Haggerty.
Chili Boncorne.
Ole.
Ole.
Was that not working on there, or was it just too loud we couldn't hear?
No, the phone was down.
Man, see, I never thought of having a Mexican Vaughn
Yeah.
El Vaughn Haggerty.
It just hit me out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I got a feeling we're going to be hearing a lot of that rave bump head music.
I love those.
Yeah, normally what I would listen to, normally on any certain day of the week, I'm listening to God Squad stuff like K-Love or Air or what's it, Air One?
Air One.
Air One. That's all I listen to. Well, guess what? I'm going to have to put God on hold for a little while. You know, we did talk to his son at the bar. He said it was okay. He said, "Go
you did.
rave."
That's right.
He said, "Go rave, my man. Go rave."
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and hit that for a
Maple
while.
syrup. Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus.
We're having church in here, Chuck.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, sweet baby, build it, Jesus.
And I'll tell you what irritated me to death.
Baby Jesus in the crib.
We go over there and we actually see this guy for the first time. Have no idea his name.
Does he have
you
really
know.
long hair?
No.
Yep.
Oh no, I'll show you. Now listen, here's the first thing I hear out of Michelle's mouth.
He said,
She went like this.
"Oh,
You know what? He's really good looking.
damn."
And I'm like,
'Cause
what?
you don't see very many.
Time
good
to go
looking-
home.
You don't see it. I mean, granted, he's my daughter's age. I was trying to fix him up with Megan, but you don't see good looking. They're all clean cut and very,